Hello, in this video, we're going to do a part 3 to our classes series and talk about encapsulation. Let's get to it. Pardon the interruption, I do have a big announcement before we continue on with the video content. And I want to say that I do have a new Instagram account. It is HD Coding, and this is where I will now be posting in all of my latest updates, as well as maybe some memes and other content that is having to do with my channel. And you can see multiple posts that I have here, as well as upcoming new videos and content that will be posted. And this is where I will be posting in future content from now going forward, and I'll slowly transition to be using this sole account. So if you haven't already, go ahead and follow this handler right here, and I'll probably follow back, and you can be up to date of what I'm doing within the YouTube realm. The other announcement that I want to have announced is that I did create a website for everyone to take a look at the latest videos, and I put them from the most up-to-date on the very top for you to take a look at. And this will take you to the individual YouTube itself, and you can watch those cases when you need. And I am going to build out and update the site as we go, and this will have different sections. For now, we're just talking about coding concepts, but later on there'll probably be a tutorial section, a podcast section, things like that. So this site will grow as the channel grows, and all of the content will be posted also on this particular site. So that is all of the announcements I have for now, and let's go ahead and continue on with the video. So encapsulation is one of those words that may sound very intimidating, and if you also look it up, it may confuse you. And it is one of those terms that people use a lot within object-oriented programming. And again, what object-oriented programming is you're treating everything as an object, and you're performing logic based on that object. So with that idea in mind, when we are talking about encapsulation, we are technically bundling all of the data as well as the properties all in one place. And that does sound confusing at first, because those terms like data and properties and what place are you talking about, that really depends on the context. That really depends on the object itself. So the encapsulation is more of an idea than an actual thing that you need to do. And there are some uses for this, and you can use them as a blueprint of an object. You can encapsulate them all in a particular class, and it also helps you clean up code. You don't have code spread out everywhere in different files and places. And finally, you are putting everything related having to do with anything for that particular object all in one place. And technically, you are doing encapsulation in real life. For example, if we have different things that we need to do, like cook some eggs, make some coffee, wash the dishes, you don't want to have them be in their own separate rooms, right? That would be so inconvenient for you to go to a different room to wash dishes and then use those dishes to be able to cook something in another room. A better thing to do is that you should encapsulate them all in one particular place, like the kitchen. That way you can do all of those things, and having everything that is related to either cooking or anything having to do with food is all going inside of the kitchen. And that's technically a real life example of encapsulation. We're putting everything related and what you're doing with them inside of one particular place. And in most cases, when we are using them in code, we are technically putting them all in a particular object or in a class. So here is an example of it in the coding realm, is that when we have certain elements of a particular object, we want to group them together. And with objects, they have a bunch of things. They have attributes, they have methods, they have variables, and all other logic that is having to do with that particular object. And you don't want this to be in different files and in different projects, and that might be inconsistent. It won't be a dry way of doing things. And putting them all pertaining into a single place, that is a much more realistic approach, and it will also help alleviate some headaches when you are dealing with a certain thing. So for this particular example, anything that is having to do with a car or changing a car or anything like that, that will go inside of this car class. We are encapsulating everything having to do with a car and everything the car has inside of this car class. And that's how encapsulation works within this particular instance of the coding realm. So encapsulation is the car itself, and we are encapsulating everything the car has, such as the car's color, mileage and seats, and the methods and variables that it has within the car trip. So that is encapsulation. We have the car object and everything having to do with it, we are encapsulating it within the car. And that will give you a pretty good insight of what encapsulation is. It is just bundling data and related properties all in one particular place. If you have any questions, feel free to post a comment down below, and I will see you in the next video. See ya!